All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of Purpose, Peace, and Pearls. And today we have special guest Veronica Kolibab. I think I said it incorrectly. With Eating with V. So I want to introduce her to you all. She's a certified integrative nutrition health coach and a certified belief clearing practitioner who specializes in helping to empower people to reclaim their health through aware food choices, self-value, and education. She believes our health is our true wealth. Veronica herself is a survivor of the medical system and was able to clear her body naturally from a debilitating illness the doctors told her she would never be able to heal from naturally. This set her passion and mission in motion to help others to live their healthiest and happiest life. She's a graduate from the Institute of Integrative Nutrition in New York and also certified by the Clearing Academy for the Belief Clearing certifications. Veronica coaches groups and has online training. She also has content across several social media platforms to help people make better food choices. She has a series of healthy cooking shows called Eating with V, which is a great channel. Y'all need to subscribe on YouTube. Veronica is currently the show host of the Integrative Health Podcast, videocast, radio program called Health Revolution with V, where you can learn about many different holistic, integrative, alternative health practitioners, practices, service providers, and the products for your total health. The show is called Health Revolution with V and can be found on 12 podcasting platforms, 2 YouTube channels, the Eating with V website, and all of her social media channels. It can also be found on the station's website and inside their app. You can visit her website at www.eatingwithv.com, where you can find all of her information and platforms. So welcome, Veronica. I'm so excited to have you here today.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm excited to be here with you because I think you're amazing. So
Thank you. I think you're amazing too. So in your bio, you touched on this, but I would love for you to share more about how you found your purpose in the world.
sure. Well, after many years of abusing my body, like most of us do, I ended up getting very, very sick and did not want to have to take a diflucan. So I had a very bad strain of candida beyond the albicans candida. And they said, you'll never heal that strain naturally. And I said, well, I'm not taking that drug. So we have a catch-22, right? So I ended up getting with a kinesiology practitioner, and it took a year of the absolute strictest diet known to man. Like, I don't know how many people would be able to do it.
That is a really strict diet. And yeah,
Is.
not everybody is down to follow the diet. Hence, part of the reason why they might choose the medication because it's
Right.
strict.
Right. It's a very, very strict diet. I mean, I went from 128 pounds to 110 pounds, and because you have to starve out the candida. But in that process, I had to learn how to make foods that didn't have gluten, dairy, or sugar. I had to watch the labels and learn how to get away from sugar, which was probably one of the best things that ever happened to me, was getting sick. In hindsight, we look back and go, oh, I see why that happened. And so that set me on the path, right? I was like helping people, and I did it for years. And I finally was like, you know what? I probably should just go get a certification and do this because I love it. And I ended up getting myself sick a couple times because I'm like, oh, I'm going to go on the gluten-free stuff, which is still crap, and ended up getting myself sick again with candida. So I battled with it a few times over the years, not to the extent that it was when I first had it, but that set me on the path and of wanting to help other people to feel their best, right, and be healthy.
I find that so often the things that we struggle with then become like such a big part of our purpose in the world. Can you speak a little more about what kind of symptoms you were having with the candida? Because people listening may be struggling with this and it's not ever even been on their radar that this could be something that's going on, right? Because it's not always easily diagnosed.
No, for sure. There's so many symptoms that physicians aren't really trained on the more holistic and food side of our health, unfortunately. And so they don't know, because there's a myriad of symptoms. Like, I had incredible joint pain. I could sleep for 8 or 10 hours and still be exhausted. My body was just exhausted, and I was bloated. It felt like most of the food, excuse me, that I ate was bothering me. It didn't matter what I ate, it was bothering me, and being bloated and just brain fogged, and almost like, I don't want to say a depression, but just a not feeling good. When you're not feeling good, and then it just kind of filters out into your entire life. It affects your relationships, your job, it affects everything because you just don't feel good. And I think those were the major symptoms, with the joint pain, the food sensitivities, and the bloating, and the stomach issues were a big deal.
How did you get diagnosed?
I actually went to a kinesiology professional because
That's who diagnosed you?
yeah, because
Okay.
we can't say that, but she did some testing and that came up.
Right. She didn't diagnose you, but together you collaborated and found out what was going on.
Yeah, because I had been to every doctor known to man. I mean, it was $30,000 with insurance, and this was over a decade ago.
Wow.
And they put me through a gamut of everything, and just, and at my age, they were like, "You're just crazy." I wasn't crazy. I was ill.
And you found an answer and a solution to what was going on.
Yeah, and it was the very strict diet, lots of supplement. I mean, it was very expensive. So I say, if we prevent that now, right? And that's my mission really, is to help people to learn to get to their health before it gets to that place, to start paying attention to what we're eating and how we're living, because all of that intermeshes. That's integrative nutrition. It's not just the food on our plate, but our whole lifestyle that will feed into that illness.
I would love you to share more about that because I know you know so much about nutrition and it affects us so much. So if you could share some pearls of wisdom on nutrition, that would be great, especially this time of year. We're all trying to do our best.
Yes.
And there's lots of information out there. So if you could share some basic tips that would support people, that would be awesome.
I can. And I am a big proponent of, and I preach all the time for people to start getting away from the sugar. And the reason is that the sugar affects every system in our body. Every system. The average eater takes in 46 teaspoons of sugar per day unknowingly. And those that eat real sugary foods, so the average person, me who eats hardly any sugar, and the Coca-Cola and cupcake person, the average eater is taking in 46 teaspoons of sugar a day, and women should be taking in no more than 6. So
Ooh.
yeah, so what happens is the liver can't process all of that sugar, puts it out into the body as fat. So when people say, your lipids go up, but I don't drink, we have a non-alcoholic fatty liver, I don't drink. Well, you eat a lot of sugar, right?
And it's in everything. I know you have a course, right, that shares all about all of the sneaky ways sugar, it shares a lot of things, but all the sneaky ways that sugar shows up in our eating, and we're not even aware of it so much of the time.
For sure. And taking those in. So I think my biggest pearl of wisdom today, number one, is to start reading your labels and be very cautious with what you're eating, because it affects your body more than you could possibly know. But for every 4 grams, let's just round it off to 4 grams of sugar on every label, it's a teaspoon of sugar. So if you have 16 grams, you're looking at 4 teaspoons of sugar. But look at a serving size, because those are also very deceptive. So if one serving is 16 grams of sugar and there's 2 servings in that package, you're getting 32. And, that's 8 teaspoons of sugar right out of the gate. Women, you're done for the day. So men,
you haven't even left the house.
yeah, your Starbucks coffee with 14 pumps of stuff in it is probably your month's worth of sugar intake. So just be cautious with that, because sugar is definitely a killer. There's so many diseases, brain issues, it's linked to depression, and, your microbiome gets all jacked up, which jacks up everything else. I mean, it's just terrible what's going on with the sugar.
What do you say to the person who's like, I'm addicted to sugar? Because I definitely have a lot of patients or clients, myself included, a recovering sugar addict. What do you tell them to do? Because for somebody who eats sugar all the time, it's really hard to be like, cut your sugar back.
Yeah, it's worse than coming off of a drug, like a narcotic drug. So there are alternative sugars, and I do put a lot of information on my social medias on a daily basis with different ideas for foods and things like that. I think the more that you start eating real food, the less you're gonna start crowding out the junk when you start eating real food, because real food starts tasting better. I'm talking about vegetables and fruits and high quality proteins. But for those that really can't just stop, because it's not easy to just stop, there are alternative sugars, and some people demonize the alternative sugars. I've read studies on stuff. I have kinesiology tested any sugars that I use, but they have no glycemic load. So there's monk fruit sugars. There are erythritols, which are generally mixed with monk fruit sugars. It depends on the kind that you get, the brands too. So if you try one and it upsets your stomach, you can try a different brand. I like the So Nourished brand because it tests well. It doesn't hurt my stomach. Also, Swerve makes a brown sugar substitute that if you sprinkle a little bit of that on your steel cut oats in the morning, you know what I mean? You're going to be fine. And watch the carbs too, like the unnecessary carbs, so white rices and, just the junk food, because those things really tack on sugars. They convert to sugar. So there are alternative sugars. Now, honey is still sugar. It's still going to elevate your blood sugar level. No matter what you say, no matter how healthy you think it is for you, it's still, your liver doesn't go, wait, well, that's honey. It's okay.
No, it doesn't do that for us.
Oh, I can eat that banana with 12 grams of sugar. No, it affects the liver the same. The liver, and yes, there are other beneficial parts of some of these fruits, right? But if you're in a candida state, or if you're in a high sugar state, you're trying to get away from sugar. Those high sugar fruits are not necessary for you to be.
So focus on eating real food that's not super high in sugar content, even if it's natural, so that your body starts getting more of what it needs. And if you're going to do a sugar substitute, there's a lot out there. And you said like monk fruit is a good place to start and test out and see how your body tolerates it.
Yes. Yes.
That's
and
great
Swerve has
information.
the sugar substitute that's pretty good. They have powdered versions, they have granulated versions, and eat the berries, strawberry, blueberry.
Oh, berries are so great.
Kiwis, raspberries, cherry, eat the low glycemic green apples,
Okay. Thank you. And then tell me, what is a practice that helps you feel at peace?
Well, it's taken years, but I have learned how to quiet the mind. So sometimes just quieting my mind, like just saying, nope, you have to stop right now, and shutting that down. And I think breathing helps that a lot. So sometimes if I feel super stressed, I just take a deep breath, breathe through the nose, and then kind of let it out. And it really just calms the body.
Yes, the breath is a superpower. When we can breathe down into the belly, relax those shoulders, it really is. Nice slow out All right, y'all have heard me say this so many times, and Veronica's backing it up. Thank you so much. So tell us, how can people, I know I mentioned a little bit in your bio, but tell us, how can we get a hold of you? Do you have anything up and coming people should know about?
Yes. So you can go to my website, eatingwithv.com. Everything's there, all my social media. So that's kind of the hub. If you want to learn about me, you can get to all my social medias from eatingwithv.com. And I do have a hidden sugars class that is on my website. So you're welcome to take the class from there. And also I'm working on a 3-month coaching program, because I got yelled at by my own coach that said, you're just dumping people off after an hour. So what
we need you. We need more than an hour. Yeah. We've been eating sugar a long time.
Right. There is a 3-month program on the horizon, and people, if you're interested in that, you can just sign up at the website. There's a little place that says join my list. And so as that information comes out, I will definitely be updating people.
Oh, perfect. I love it. And I'll share her website and everything so everyone has it and can easily click on it. Perfect. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate having you on. You're our first guest.
Yay, thank
Thanks, Veronica.
you. Have a
Thank-
great one.
You too. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.